Okay, so to create a Google form, first you want to go into your Drive, make sure that you're logged in under the correct Google account that you want to use, and go to whatever class or section that you might want to organize it in. If you don't have a specific place you'd like it to be, you can just start from this main screen. I'm going to make it for our tall class, so I'm going to start within the folder where I want it to be housed. Go up to the New button on the left side, scroll down to More, and then Google Forms. And you'll write create and share if a box pops up for that. First, you're going to title your form. So I'm going to title mine Tall Survey. If you title it here, it doesn't always title up here automatically. So if you click there just once, it will automatically match those two titles together. I always like to make my first question, what is your name? You'll see that this automatically populated to a short answer response. You can pick all sorts of responses. Google does predict what it thinks you will want it to be, but you want to make sure that it's correct. I always make sure that this question is required. I might then say, how is your day? You'll see that Google auto-populated it to a linear scale, which I like. 1 to 5, you can create it 1 to 10. Maybe you give kids an option so they know which one's 1 and which one's 10. So 1 is not so great and 10 is amazing. I'm going to make this required as well. Question number 3 is going to be, what is your favorite part about February? And you'll see that Google guessed that it would be a paragraph response. And I'm going to say required. If you don't want it to be required, it will just not have this little star and kids can send their response without typing anything there. If you're trying to make it something that they have to respond to, you definitely want to push that required button. After this, you're going to push send. I like to push this link button and then shorten URL and then copy this link. And you can write this link up on your board. You can turn it into a tiny URL. You can turn it into a bit.ly, or you can just link it to something in your PowerPoint or your slides. And then it's a hot link for anyone who wants to fill it out. Now I'm back to my editing page. Some people like to know how to make it look pretty. If you go up to this color palette here, you'll see choose image. And there are a lot of pre-loaded images that you can pick between. You can also upload photos from your computer. But when you pick one, it will then change kind of the color scheme of what this looks like, as well as the top banner. Another thing that you can do here in the settings is automatically collect email addresses from people. You can also send them response receipts if they want it, or always if you want them to see what their answers were. You can restrict users to PSD to use it or not. And you can also make it so they can only send in one response if you're doing some type of voting or things like that. And the last thing I want to show you is how to create a response chart. So you can see responses here just by clicking over, and all the responses will be here, but I find them a little hard to read. So I always go up to this Google spreadsheet icon, and then it will say create a new spreadsheet. And it will be the same title that you created your form, but it will have responses afterwards. And I say create. And then it's going to make a response sheet in the same folder where you created the survey. And it will allow you to see everything in a spreadsheet format, which is a lot easier for me to read. So you'll see this popped up right next to my tall survey. And when you all give me some answers, then I will be able to show you what that looks like. But for example, what that currently looks like, if you look at another one of my folders, is the form is here, and right next to it are the answers. So I can see that Riley knows that the name of the knife is a chef's knife. She knows 3 rules for keeping herself safe using a knife, and that she's tried bruschetta before.